Where, in your experience, have you seen the worst detention conditions in Europe?
I can say that in several countries we have seen conditions where persons would not have sufficient living space in a cell or even had to share beds with other prisoners, something that is very alarming and completely unacceptable. I can, for example, give example of a Bulgarian prison in Burgas, where a prisoner would have in some cells about 1 square meter per person.
Why can't Europe enforce some kind of standard rules of square footage per inmate, for example?
In fact, our committee, the CPT, has come up with its standards over the more than 25 years of the existence of the committee, and these standards are largely applied also by the European Court of Human Rights. It's 4 square meters per person in a multiple occupancy cell. And these conditions are in principle legally binding through the court's jurisprudence. And there is something I tell the governments when I meet them when they suffer from overcrowding in their prisons. I'm saying, look, you are losing a lot of money, for example, to compensate prisoners when they go to court, to a national court or to the European Court of Human Rights about the bad conditions in their places. And you are basically wasting that money instead of investing the money into the development of the prison estate.
Some inmates are compensated while they are actually jailed.
I have seen lifers, life-sentenced prisoners who have applied to courts and then received money, but their conditions were hardly improved. They simply received money. This is indeed totally absurd.
We've seen that France, unfortunately, has one of the highest rates of suicide in Europe. The average stands at 7.6 suicides per 10,000 inmates. France is around like 12.6. So why does it still happen?
Prisoners should be who present suicide risks should be placed in cells which are kind of suicide-proof, that is, which are safe, which don't have the ligature points and which do not have sharp angles and so on. So this is one of the solutions. Professional medical help is also important, especially for prisoners having mental health issues.
Exactly.
Psychological support is also very important.
We have seen in a report in France that one of the inmates whose family we talked to actually overdosed on psychotropic drugs, although this person did not take any such drugs prior to being jailed. So do you think there is also an overprescription of this type of drugs to people that actually don't need them? I
have seen prison doctors prescribing huge amounts of psychotropic medicines just basically to keep people quiet in the prison, especially when prisons again are overcrowded, when the conditions are bad and so on. It has lasting consequences, and those consequences are very bad.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for your insights. Thank you for joining us on Insiders.